So, you know, I don't understand why. You have to walk in the house, you have to take off your work clothes and throw them on the floor immediately, right in the living room. I don't understand why you do that. It drives me crazy.
That's your gentle startup?
No, that's not my gentle startup.
All right.
I'm not into gentle startup. I'm too frustrated. I'm too angry.
All right.
And I really need you, here we go, gentle startup. I need you to put your clothes in the laundry hamper, as simple as that. You don't have to wash them, just put them in the hamper. The hamper I took out of the bedroom.
I'm going to time you on this one.
I took it out of the closet. I put it in the bedroom where you could see it. You still dropped your clothes on the floor. I put it in the living room. You still dropped your clothes on the floor right next to it. I mean, what is that about, Mr. Hostile Man?
Just timing you, that's all, not hostile.
Done. Your turn.
Oh, okay, that was pretty good. That was shorter than usually are.
Well, good. What do you want to say in response?
What I want to say is lighten up, you know. I mean, try to get some therapy, try to do meditation, or there's a lot of medication.
I need it after living with you.
There's medications you can take that just gives you a more, I mean, relax about this stuff. It's not that important. This is, you know, don't sweat the small stuff.
Will you pay for the therapy?
Yeah, I'll pay for the therapy.
Cool.
Yeah.
And the meds?
And the meds.
Okay.
Gladly.
And the maid to clean up our house?
There's no point to this conversation. We've had it a million times.
True.
Okay.
Okay. So let's
you
do what
need to
those
change. That's
stupid
all there is to it.
Gottmans tell us to do.
All right, let's do this. Let me ask the questions. Circle questions. Okay.
Fine.
What do you believe about this problem?
Okay. So what do I believe? Well, I believe that, you know, most of a house is shared space for both you and me, right? So I guess I think that we ought to respect each other's wishes and needs in terms of the space being shared. And my own belief is that when a space is neat and tidy, I'm afraid to say it, when it's neat and tidy, it's easier to live in. It's not so discombobulating.
Okay. You done?
I'm done.
Okay.
Oh, not quite. I also think, given that it's shared space, I think it's important that both of us take responsibility for taking care of that space. Not just me, both of us.
Okay. So number 3, does this relate to your history or childhood in some way?
Well, I suppose. Well, you know, so when Mom went on her alcoholic binges, and you know Dad left the house when I was, what, 4? And so I had 2 little siblings right behind me. So when Mom started drinking, I mean, you know, I'd come home from school. I guess that's what comes into mind.
Oh, wait a minute. So I don't drink, so
I know.
Why is this relevant?
Well, just listen for a moment.
Okay.
Because you're right. You don't drink. It's not about you drinking. Right. But, you know, when I was a little older, I'd come home from school. She'd be passed out on the couch, and I'd walk in the door, and there'd just be stuff everywhere. There'd be, you know, dirty dishes. There'd be clothes, laundry, you know, stuff spilled. I mean, it was just like, I hated it. And because I was the oldest one, I was always the one, because she was dead to the world, that ended up having to clean it up. You know, my little sister and brother were too young to do stuff. So I'd end up cleaning up everything, all of it. And that happened day after day after day. And I vowed to myself that when I left home, I would never have a home like that, ever. I would have a place that was beautiful, that was clean, that I could just rest in instead of walking in the door and immediately having to start working, doing stuff to clean it up.
I mean, when you walk into our house, it takes you back there?
Yeah, I have exactly the same feeling. Exactly.
I didn't know that.
It's awful. I mean, I feel like I'm walking into, I don't know what,
Wow.
like, just a big pile of boulders that just, bowl me over and bury me. And I can barely breathe. I just want to turn around and run. I mean, that's the feeling I have. And I've been trying to talk to you about it, and I guess I just haven't conveyed this part.
So what's your ideal dream here? Question 6.
Well, I'm not, as much as you think I'm obsessively, compulsively neurotic, I'm only slightly neurotic, just a little. So I don't need it perfect all the time. I really don't. I just
Okay.
want some of the time for it to be tidy, some of the time for it to be neat and clean. And I guess the other thing, ideally, is that we'd be working on it together. I mean, we don't have to do it at the same time, but that I would just feel like I wasn't alone in being responsible for always having to clean up everything, like I was as a kid. I want your help, that's all.
So you don't feel so alone.
Right,
Okay,
right,
that makes sense.
that's it.
I didn't know you felt that way.
I do,
Okay.
I do.
All right, okay.
Okay, well, all right, so let's reverse roles.
Okay.
So, let me see. So, from your point of view, what do you believe about this?
Well, I think a home ought to be a place where you can really be relaxed
Okay.
and where there weren't a lot of rules, and regulations, and codes and nagging. That's what I believe.
You're on the edge.
Okay, no, well, there weren't a lot of rules and restrictions. It would be a sense of freedom, a casual kind of sense, relaxed. It would be a place where you could relax,
Okay,
or I could relax.
okay. Okay. All right. Does this relate to your history or childhood in some way?
Well, you visited, when we were going out, you visited my parents' home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you remember that my mother had all the furniture wrapped in plastic, and you couldn't sit on it even though it had plastic on it.
I know.
She had
So
the plastic
she didn't want
runner.
to wrinkle the plastic?
Yeah, she didn't want, and she had a runner, plastic runner on the rug. You had to
Right.
walk on the runners.
I know.
She was always cleaning the runners.
I know.
And and a lot of it was about presentation, about image, presenting the right image to the neighbors. So the kids had to dress a certain way. I had that little suit.
You were so cute.
I
You
had
had
thought
that
it was
little bow
awful.
tie with polka dots.
Bow tie. I had to wear a bow tie
I
when I
know.
was 4 years old. I had to wear a bow tie.
Cute.
Can you imagine?
Cute.
Like a bank president. It's like crazy, So I really, I just don't want that kind of, I don't care about, how things look to the world. Just I want a home that's really relaxed. That's what I want.
Okay.
I want it like that.
Okay. Okay. All right. So let me see. What would be your ideal dream here?
Well, I don't like my job, right? So
Right.
that's another big problem. Like, I have to have a dress code at work, I have to talk to the customers a certain way, and the management a lot of times, you know, secretly pretends to be a customer, and they record your you know, the way you interact with the customers. And so I you know, the truth is I come home and I throw my clothes on the floor and I stomp on them a couple of times, you know. And then I put my sweats on and I like to, you know, I like to read the obituaries, you know. I imagine that some of my bosses are in there, you know. And I like, you know, I like to read about dead people. It really comforts me.
Does that go along with the book of poisons you bought?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, just wondered.
I like to read that book.
And you're wanting to see your boss in the obituaries. Never mind.
Yeah,
never
well,
mind.
you
Okay.
know. So
All
my
right.
ideal
So-
dream would be not to have, to be able to come home and really be able to unwind and relax and have the home be relaxed and not have us fight about stuff and have you nag. You know, I know you don't like to nag me. I don't like to be nagged, you know, and that's not really your personality. You weren't like that.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Before
I'm
this
glad you
problem.
see that.
Yeah. No, I don't think
Okay.
you're like my mother at all.
Okay.
God.
Whew.
Yeah.
I'm relieved. So, okay. All right. So I think I understand that a little better.
Okay.
Yeah. So you really don't want to live with that kind of rigid,
Yeah, right.
you know,
Thank you.
have
That's
to
it. Yeah.
conform, intense rules kind of stuff.
That's it.
You've got it at work, you don't want it at home.
Right.
Right?
Right. I've had it my whole life.
Okay.
In the Army,
Right.
you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.